to continue with the human brain. Now, dear students, we have already studied about what is a nerve impulse, about the conduction of the nerve impulse. Now, let us start with the central nervous system. As you know, in the chordates, the central nervous system is dorsal, it is hollow, and it is made up of the brain and the spinal cord. So, the human brain is the anterior most part of the central nervous system. It is the site of processing of information and control and command center. And through the peripheral nervous system, the human brain is connected to all the parts of your body. Now, the human brain is a soft tissue. What do I mean by a soft tissue? There is no muscle or there is no bones in the brain. It is made up of millions of cells, which are the neurons, and much more than them are the neuroglia. And you can see in the diagram that I have made, the neurons are towards the periphery, especially the cytons are towards the periphery, whereas their myelinated nerve fibers are towards the center. As a result of which, the outer part of the brain is the gray matter. It appears gray because of the presence of the millions of cytons. And the central part appears white because of the presence of myelinated nerve fibers. So the outer matter is the gray matter, inner matter is the white matter. And these are the hollow cavities that are present in the human brain. And these hollow cavities are called as the ventricles, and they are filled with the CSF, that is the cerebrospinal fluid. So the brain is a soft tissue with an outer gray matter, inner white matter in most of the parts of the brain. It is hollow from inside. The hollow cavities are called as the ventricles, and the ventricles are filled with a cerebrospinal fluid. The human brain is protected by the skull, that is the bony protection. Followed by the bony protection, there is a membranous protection for the human brain. And the membranous protection includes the three meninges: the outer dura mater, the middle arachnoid mater, and the innermost pia mater. Out of which the dura mater is made up of fibrous connective tissue, the arachnoid mater is made up of reticular connective tissue, the pia mater, the innermost one, is the thin and the delicate one. It is made up of blood capillaries. Below the dura mater and above the arachnoid mater is a subdural space, which is filled with a serous fluid, and space between the arachnoid and the pia mater, that is the subarachnoid space, is filled with the cerebrospinal fluid. The human brain can be divided into forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. We'll be sticking strictly to the NCRT, and we'll be dividing the forebrain into the cerebrum, thalamus, and the hypothalamus, and the hindbrain into pons, cerebellum, and the medulla oblongata. The largest part of the human brain is the cerebrum, and the cerebrum is divided into two hemispheres: the left cerebral hemisphere and the right cerebral hemisphere. This one is the left, this one is the right. By a fissure, that I'm highlighting right now, which is called as the median longitudinal fissure, that divides the cerebrum into left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. And the two hemispheres are interconnected by a nerve track. Such an interconnecting nerve track in the human brain is called as a commissure. And the name of this commissure is corpus callosum. It's a characteristic feature of mammals and it's the largest commissure in the human brain called corpus callosum. On the human, in the cerebrum, there are many elevations and depressions which are called as the gyri and sulci. But out of the many sulci, what we find is that the three sulci are very deep, which divide the cerebrum into four lobes: the frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and the temporal lobe. So each hemisphere has got four lobes. So the entire cerebrum has got four pairs of lobes: a pair of frontal, a pair of parietal, a pair of occipital, and a pair of temporal. Now, functionally, the cerebrum shows the presence of sensory areas to receive information, motor areas to give out commands, and association areas to receive the commands, or rather than saying receive the commands, we'll say that they receive the information, store it, analyze it, give the responses to the motor areas, and accordingly the motor areas will act. So that is why the NCRT says that the association areas are neither clearly sensory nor they are clearly motor. So that is about the cerebrum and its areas. So basically, for functional purpose, we have got sensory area, motor area, and the association areas. In our regular lectures, keeping the boards in mind, we have done the different examples of these areas also.